Hi, paper peeps. We'll get started in just a minute. I want to make sure I can see everybody's comment, so I'm trying to get on my phone and join in. Okay. How's it going, everybody? So today we're going to make a really super quick mini album. I made something similar to this a couple years ago, and it was called the quickest 6x6 mini album ever. And now we're going to do a different size, and this one is going to be 6 inches across by 4.5 inches down. And this is super, super easy. You can use this using each, what you want to say, signature is only one sheet of 8.5 by 11 paper, and there's very minimal cutting for that. So, oh, you did buy a lot of photos. So did you see Jody Lee? My friend Jennifer Ford saw Jody. Hi, Lynn. Hi, Shannon. Hi, Jeanette. Hi, Barb. So let me show you this little album real quick. Okay. This is actually 2¼ inches long, but don't ignore that. I made it a little bit skinnier for our show, okay? This is just going to be really something super fast that you could give to a friend and make this in an afternoon. And you're going to use maybe 7 sheets of pattern cardstock, okay? And that's completely up to you. Maybe 8, depending if you want to use all the tags, okay? Which I did in this particular album. But it's really super easy. So each signature is identical, okay? So I'm just going to show you one signature throughout here. So you have a photo spot. You can do a photo or journaling here. You also have a pocket, and you can put your journaling cards in there. You could even do another photo mat if you wanted to. You also have a photo mat in here. And there is 4 signatures for each of these. Then you have another pocket right here. And then you have another photo spot and photo spot, okay? So that is all in one signature. So guys, this is going to be super easy. I promise you, this is probably one of the easiest mini albums I've ever made, okay? Besides my quickest 6x6 mini album, which I believe that tutorial may be on, well, it is. It's on my YouTube page called Salty Beach Scrapper. This paper collection I absolutely adore because you all know I love shabby chic. If you know me, you know I love shabby chic, and this definitely has all the shabbiness you could possibly want in a paper. I love the chair right here. The typewriter is so stinking cute. But we're just going to go ahead and get right into the project because this is actually a long one, and we may be here for like maybe an hour and a half. Okay, so hold on. And I'm also going to write this down too. But I just wanted to show you some of this stuff real quick. I almost forgot about this part. So there is a stamp collection. You got a couple of them actually. So this one is the flowers, and they have some sentiments, thinking of you, wishing you a beautiful day, and so happy we are friends. And then you also have your die cuts where you're cutting your metal dies, okay? So that's great. You also have this beautiful dress, Queen for the Day, que sera, sera, hello, the typewriter, and like a little hi right there. So cute. And then you have a die cut for that. I love, love, love die cuts, okay, that match with my stamp collection. Now, I did use some of these for my book, but you also get some brads. Love these. Aren't these gorgeous? And then you also have your cardstock ephemera. And I'm going to, hopefully there's not a glare, but there's probably a little bit of one right here. So you got some frames in here, some tabs, and then like a little banner that says love, a little journaling card. So lots of cute stuff. And then if that's not all, you also get micro chipboard shapes, okay? And I do know that they do have a solid colored cardstock collection for this. So literally, you don't even have to purchase your own solid cardstock if you don't want to. You can just purchase the matching paper. So, hi Jojo, hi Yvette, hi Nay, hi Lynn. The paper's name is called Belle Fleur by Becky Fleck, I believe. Yes, it is. So let's go ahead and get started. I am going to make a PDF for this. It's just basically going to be a cutting guide, okay? So I hope that helps. And this will also be available not only here on our Facebook page, but as well as YouTube. I'll do an edited, well, kind of an edited version on there. I may cut out a lot of my chitter chatter, but anyway, you're going to need 2 pieces of chipboard that are going to be 4.5 inches by 6. Okay, and then for your spine, it's going to be 2 inches by 4.5. All right. Then for the paper that goes for the outside of your spine, for your spine or the whole outside of your album, I'm not making any sense right now. You're going to need, I use 2 8.5 by 11 sheets of paper that I cut down to 11 inches by 6.5. And what I like to do on one side is I like to make a score mark at 1 inch, and then if you turn it counterclockwise, another score line at 1 inch. You don't have to do that part if you don't want to, okay? Let me move this out of the way real quick. You're also going to need, well, hold on. You're also going to need another sheet of paper that's going to be 5.5 inches by 6.5. Hi, Catherine. And I didn't do any score lines on this, and you'll probably see why in just a minute. Let me grab my 1/2 inch score tape. And on my right side here, I'm just going to go ahead and add this right here on this edge. I'm going to burnish that tape in and trim. Okay. Then I'm going to go ahead and add this piece of paper right on top. But because this is Florida and it's very humid, I have to glue mine as well, okay? If I just do tape, it's going to lift, all right? So let me get this a little wet there so I get it on there straight. And I always use my lines right here on my board to help me keep everything straight and together. Okay, and then I'm gonna burnish that in, wipe off any excess glue. Hi Phyllis, hi Debbie. All right, so now I'm gonna grab my big tape. I got this off of Amazon. You could use your double-sided score tape, but I don't know if they have 2 inch. They may. I know they definitely have 1 inch. So I'm going to go ahead and cover this entire piece in tape. Okay. And these larger, tapes, they're a little bit weird to work with at first, but once you get used to it, it's pretty easy, and it takes a lot less time, putting tape all over your album. I can tell you that, okay? I'll do one more. Okay, let me trim off anything that's hanging over the edge. Okay. Yeah, we got straight on into this today because this is going to be a long one. Let me burnish this in a little bit more, okay? So that it's easy to peel off. So I'm going to pull this one back because I still need another row of tape. I'm going to grab my 1/2 inch so I'm not wasting my other tape, all right? And peel it. Burnish it in and then move it off of here. Oops, I always like my scoreboard more so than this mat right here to keep my stuff straight. But when I have bigger pieces, I have no choice, okay? So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put this back up here on the board. And I'm going to put it back to the side that I scored the 1 inch, right? So I have 1 inch down here and 1 inch at the bottom. So I can show you that real quick. I don't know if you can see it in the glare, but it's there, okay? And if you have any tape hanging over the edge, please push it back onto the top of the paper, all right? So I'm going to grab my chipboard and I'm going to line this up. Make sure that's about, sorry, there we go. I just want to make sure it's at the inch. So I can see this is 7.5, so I know to start about 6.5. All right. And I'm just going to line it up there and burnish that in. Okay. Now I have my first piece on here. I'm pretty good. I can move this off of here now. And I love using this. This is about 1/8 inch. Okay. Oops. I'm going to put my chipboard that's 2 inches by 4.5 and just line it straight up here and burnish it in. And then I'm going to do the same thing with my last piece right here. Line it up. This stuff is super sticky. Okay. Now what I want you to do is I want you to trim off. I want you to leave about a 1/16 of an inch from your edge here, okay? We're just going to trim this off on all 4 corners. Same thing over here. And if I miss any of your questions or comments, guys, I'll try to go through these at the end of the video, okay? I am using Belle Fleur. I love how Belle Fleur is shabby chic with a modern twist to it, or contemporary twist. I really like it. So I'm just going to go ahead and put these up on their sides and get them ready to push over. And I do like to use glue here, but if you are in a dry state like Arizona, you probably don't need this glue, okay? I'm just going to add that on there, and with my thumbs and my fingers, I'm going to push it up and press it down, okay? Burnish that in. I'm going to move it along the edge here. So I want your paper to be snug from the very bottom of this to the top, all right? Okay. I did a bad cutting job with these scissors, let me tell you. All right, let me do the other edge. All right, do the same thing. Push that up with my thumbs. And smooth that out. I'm just going to push that on there, all right? Okay, last but not least, I'm going to kind of push in my edges with my bone folder right there. Basically pushing that little corner on top of the paper, okay? So that it'll be a nice, neater little edge there, okay? Then I'm going to bring this up on top of this. Again, burnishing that in. And again, wipe away any excess glue. Turn it and do the same thing. and burnish that in. So guys, this is already coming along pretty quickly. What I want you to do is gently with your bone folder, I want you to press these down right in there, but very gently, not too hard. Don't want to rip the paper, okay? And then kind of fold it in, okay? Now, we want to have our paper that goes on the top. So we're going to make that real quick. And put that up here real fast. Let me give you these measurements because I forgot to write it down. This is another 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. And I actually used one sheet to make this whole piece. But anyway, you have 11 inches on this side, and then this is going to be a hair shorter than the 4.5 inches. So it's going to be 4 3/8, okay? Then for my second little piece here, it's going to be 4 1/8 by 4 3/8, okay? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to marry these two together just like I did earlier. What size is this album, Debbie? It's 6 inches by 4.5. Okay. So I'm just going to marry these two together. Burnish that in. Oh, you turned the photo side? Oh, okay. All right. Now I'm just going to line these up along my line again. I'm going to marry these together. All right. Oops, hold on. I'm off a smidge. All right, and burnish this in. Now I'm going to line this up here, and it's a little bit too long, but what I do is I leave about a 1/16 of an inch at the edge on each side. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little pencil, and I'm going to make a mark. So I'm basically taking off a 1/2 inch here, but it's better to go over than under, okay? You really don't want to undercut your paper because then you'll have to redo it and that stinks. So I'm going to take this off. Actually, it was a little over a 1/2 inch, but that's okay. I'm going to peel that off and erase my little mark that I made here. Now you have two choices. You could either use all glue on here or you can use tape again. I'm going to use tape just so I can do this fairly quickly. Right up to my edge. Oops. Hold on. That's why I use this bad mamma jamma over here. Because it's got a sharper edge. It's easier to rip. Okay. Yes, you definitely, if your area, like I said earlier, is very dry, you definitely don't need to use both adhesives. But I literally tried tape just yesterday, okay? And some of the pieces started coming up, and so of course I had to add glue, and that was kind of frustrating to have to fix it. Okay. There we go. One more. Oops. To me, the fun part of making a mini album is decorating it, but you gotta get through the basics first. Okay. And then for the pieces that I missed, I'm just gonna add a little bit of glue, okay? Or areas, not pieces. All right. And the best thing for me to do is to center this, leaving a 1/16 of an inch off each edge, and make sure it's straight. Lie it down, and then smooth it in there, okay? Wipe off any excess glue, and I really push on this hard, okay, guys? I burnish rough, okay? And then just where my binding is, I'm going to go ahead and gently push this in. Okay, and if you see any bubbling up, smooth it out, okay? This is the time to do it. Flip this over and do the same thing. Again, I see it bubbling up a little bit there. I'm going to smooth that in, burnish it in good. Okay, so now you have your basic album cover, okay? Right here, we're going to, hi Julie. We're gonna go ahead and start on our hinge system, okay? And I already went ahead and pre-made one, but I'm gonna give you the measurements real quick because you're gonna need those. Okay, so your hinge is going to be 7 7/8 by 4 1/8. I know they're kind of weird measurements, but they work, okay? Then on your 7 7/8 inch side, you're going to score at 1 inch, 1 3/8, 1 7/8, 2 3/8, 2 3/4, 3 1/4, 3 3/4, 4 1/8, 4 5/8, 5 1/8, 5 1/2, 6, 6 1/2, and 6 7/8, okay? Whoops, whoops. Oh my goodness. Okay. So this measurement right here is going to give you a 3/8 inch gusset and then a 1/2 inch hinge, okay? So that's what that's going to give you. And once you're done putting it all together, it's going to look something like this, okay? Basically, you're just going to put tape or glue or whatever adhesive on your 1/2 inch binding and then seal it together. And then I always push my back onto it, okay? So super, super easy, guys. Let me grab my little mat here again. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to center this. Actually, I got a little bit of tape here. Let me trim that off. And what I'm going to do is use glue, okay? This way, I'm able to move this pretty quickly in case I mess it up, all right? So I'm just going to add plenty of glue to make sure it's on there good. And I like to use my board to basically have control over holding everything in place. And I'm going to center this in here. So you're going to have about a 1/16 of an inch before you get to your gusset, okay, on each side. And then probably about a 1/4 inch from here to here, okay? I'm going to burnish this in and wipe off any excess glue as I go along. And I do that on each hinge. Okay. Looks like I need to add a little bit more glue down here. I'm going to do that now. And press it down. Okay. And thank goodness this glue dries clear. Now I want to go ahead, you don't have to do this, but if you want to use pattern paper for your gussets, you can. And you're going to need 5 of those. 1, 2, 3, 4, yep, 5. Hold on, sorry. Hi, Connie. How you doing? Hi, Rhonda. You're going to need 5 of these at 4 inches long by 1/4 inch wide, okay? Super easy to do, and I love this black and white polka dot. So I decided to put my favorite on here. I'm going to go ahead and do this now before I add my pages on, so they're not in my way. And I'm just going to center these and burnish it in. Just keep moving along. And you really don't want to do these any wider because sometimes these pieces of paper can prevent your pages from moving easily. So, or your pages moving back and forth, they can get stuck. You don't want to do that. But I like my gussets to have a little bit of decoration, so. Okay. Just remember to keep these in the center of the gusset. Last one. Oh, thank you. Okay. Now, we're going to start working on our base pages, okay? And I did a little, since this is on black paper, and I know it's really hard to see what I'm doing when it comes to black paper, or actually it doesn't really matter what color it is, really. It's hard to see the score lines, okay? So what you're going to do is you're going to take one 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, and you're going to, this is the easiest thing for me. I start off with the 11-inch side, and then I make a score line at, this should be, what the heck, 5.5. It is. Okay, sorry. Going to make a score line at 5.5. You're going to turn it counterclockwise one time, and you're going to make a score line at 4, and it should be 4 1/4. It is. I don't know. I'm sorry. You know what's off is my little drawings. Not my actual score line. Sorry. Okay, so 4 1/4. Okay, and you're only going to make your line up to this line right here. Okay, your first score line. This is where you're going to cut. Okay, so I'm going to move this out of the way because this is just my example picture, and I'm going to do it on mine. Okay, I've already pre-scored this. So I'm going to line it up at 4 1/4 on my scoreboard. And I'd like to just make sure that it's good. And I'm just going to cut right up to my score line. All right, so you're going to have something like this, little flappy wings like that, okay? This paper, this is, I think this is 80-pound cardstock or maybe 65 pound. Let me see. Oh, I don't even know. 65-pound cardstock from Michaels. I prefer 80-pound, but they didn't have any black 80 pounds, so I took what I could get. Okay, so then I'm going to go ahead and fold on my score line. And the best thing to do is make sure that when you are folding them, just for giggles, make sure they line up, okay? And burnish it in. Okay, and then now you're going to take your flaps and line those up as well, okay? Flip it over and do the same thing. And guys, you know, whenever I'm live, my lawn guys just love to mow the lawn. Even if I decided to do it on Thursday, they would show up on Thursday. It doesn't matter what day of the week I do it on. They're going to be there. Okay, so we have one done already. And I'm just going to keep moving on with the other 4, okay? Literally, you could do as many of these as you want to, up to 6, but it would change your hinge system and your binding a little bit, okay? But if you are familiar with mini album making, it'd be easy for you to determine those measurements, okay? So we're just going to continue on. I'm thinking that I'm going to give this to my daughter for, she asked me to make her some mini albums for each year of high school and for 8th grade, which she's in 8th grade this year, so that she can put her photos of her friends that she's taken and write a little bit about it. So I think I'm going to give this one to her. Here we go. Michael's does carry heavy cardstock, but the one we have here in Vero, you know, it's a small one. They don't have as much, so I really have to go to the Melbourne location or like any of the big city locations. I'm going to find a lot more product. This is just a small, I call it a mini Michael's. But you could just purchase a 12 by 12 solid colored cardstock that goes with this collection. I don't have it here, but I do know that they do specific. Oops, I just messed that up, guys. Did you see that? Shh, pretend you didn't see that. All right, so I'm going to flip it over. And now we're done. Guys, now we have all our signatures. Is that not easy speasy or what? So now we need a way to close these signatures, okay, so that we can slide it on to our hinges, all right? So this is where our pockets come in, all right? And this is going to be super easy. So first thing I want to let you know, if you want to do a decorative edge punch, then you definitely want to do this first. So you're going to need 4 of these, and they're going to be 5 1/8, so a little bit shorter than the page itself, which is 5 1/4, because you don't want it to get stuck, okay? And then it's going to be 2 inches. Make sure that if you are doing this decorative edge punch, make sure you create your score line first at the 2 inches, so that when you fold these over, they're going to be even, all right? So I have 4 of those, and I'm going to go ahead and fold all of these on the score lines, all right? Okay. And then the other thing I want to do real quick here is I want to go ahead and add my decorative paper to these pockets first, all right? So let me do one at a time. But you're going to need, I believe it's 8, 2, 4, 6, yes, 8 at 1 5/8 by 4 7/8. Okay, and it should fit on here just like so. So I'm going to add one of these to each side. Actually, I'm just going to leave that like that because I want to remember the direction of what I need my paper in. Okay. I'm going to flip my pocket over and add my other piece. So let's see. We've got 30 minutes down, and we've already got almost our album put together. Okay. So I think we're doing good time, guys. And especially if you have everything pre-cut and ready to go, it's a really super simple assembly line. All right, we're gonna flip that over. Hi, Lori. Hi, Cindy. Hi, Eileen. Everybody's here. Everybody's in the house. Okay. Okay, so we've got those. Okay, hopefully my computer did not do something weird. Sometimes my computer gives me notifications when I'm live, which is really bizarro. Because on my phone, it doesn't do that. Okay, so we're just gonna keep going along here. Get all of these on. One more. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so now we're getting ready to go to our second part of this, and this is adding our pockets onto our pages, all right? Let me do this, make sure I have these all in the right direction. I don't want to double up. Okay. So I'm going to grab my first one. Let me slide that under there, okay? And this all depends on how you want your pages to go, but I want mine to go in this direction, so it's up to you, but I prefer this direction for my paper. This is so easy. So you're going to have your two little wings out here, and this is where actually your pocket's going to be for your mats. And you're going to slide this on here. But before you do that, okay, if you're going to put decorative paper down, you're going to want to go ahead and do that right now. Okay, so let me get those out for you real quick. So for your mats, for your pages, you can either do this all pattern paper or you can do a mixture. I did a mixture. Oops, wait, no, this is the pocket mats, wrong one. Hold on, guys. Here we go. Here's my page mats. You're going to need 8 if you're using solid colored cardstock. So I did a mixture as I showed you in mine. That's going to be 5 1/4 by 4 1/8, okay? And then you'll need 16 of your pattern paper, all right? So how I did mine was, I did my first page pattern. I'm just gonna burnish that in real quick. And then I did my next one, solid. And then I'm going to have 2 pattern and then solid and then pattern, if that makes any sense. Hi, Jennifer. Did you see Leah at the expo? She said she went and she bought lots of photoplay paper. So I don't know if maybe y'all saw each other. Hi, Wendy. That's okay. This video is going to be on here forever, I guess. I don't know, as long as Facebook allows it. Okay. Okay. And then I'm going to do pattern again. I'll scoot that down a little bit. Then solid. Oh, you didn't see her? Oh. Well, she was there. Y'all might have gone on different days. I don't even know. Okay, center that. Okay. And then we're going to go with our pattern again. Okay. So now I can add my pocket, okay? Because if I add this paper afterwards, it's going to be difficult to get it in there. Now, normally I would do 1/8 inch score tape right here on each edge, but I tried doing that yesterday, and this is what I was talking about. Here, I didn't use glue, and with the humidity, it just, the very next morning, it was already coming apart, and I thought, oh my gosh, that's just crazy. So I'm going to go ahead and use the glue and just kind of guesstimate what would be about 1/8 of an inch, okay? And then slide it right on there, okay? You know what? I'm wondering what the heck is up here. Yeah, it is. Okay. Okay, and then we're just going to burnish this in on both sides. And now we have our little pockets. So super easy. Then we can now add this to our hinge, all right? And I'm not even going to use tape. I'm just going to use straight up glue. Okay. And I want to make sure that I have this on the right way. Make sure it's upside up. I like to stick my hand in the middle to open up my pocket. And then I just slide it on there. Now I don't push it all the way down to the bottom. What I do is I leave about 1/8 of an inch left over so that it lies flatter, okay? And if there's any excess glue, I'm gonna wipe that off, all right, on each side here. Okay. I don't know if you guys can see that. Let me see if I can. You're not gonna be able to tell. You just can't tell on black paper, I'm telling you. So crazy. Anyway, we're gonna keep moving along here. I'm gonna move this out of the way really quickly, okay? Because I don't think we're gonna be able to decorate the whole entire album on the live show. So let's just keep moving here. So for the cover of the album and the inside, I decided to use the polka dots because I love that, and it's not too busy. I went ahead and inked my edges in black already. So you will need 2 pieces that are going to be 5 7/8 inches by 4 3/8, okay? And we're going to add these on here. Okay. I'm just going to center that on there. Hold on. Okay. I'm going to do that on the opposite side as well. Now, if you want to do a ribbon closure, of course, you're going to add your ribbon first before putting this on, okay? I'm going to center that in there. Burnish it in. And then for our spine, you're going to need a piece that is 1 7/8 by 4 3/8. Oops, I got glue on my hand. Sorry, I'm reading your question, Catherine. I will answer that after the show and see if I can help you on that, okay? Because I know the frustration. I really do. We're just going to center that. And then for the inside, let me just make sure this looks right. It is. Should be exactly the same measurement. You're going to do 5 7/8 by 4 3/8. I definitely know, Catherine, that I make sure to, I don't know what you want to say, decorate my pages first before I put them on the hinge. But I know there are some people that make the whole album first. I don't do that because if I mess up one signature, it's easier to replace a signature than it is a whole entire album. I don't know if that makes any sense. Okay. We're going to move along to this side. Alrighty. And burnish that in. So, right now I pretty much got most of the album put together. But what I do want to do is give you your mats. So this is going to be for your pockets right here on the side. You're going to need your solid colored cardstock. You're going to have 4. And those are going to be 4 at 4 1/8 by 5 1/4. Let me make sure I got that right. 5 1/4, 4 1/8, okay? And then for your pattern paper and your solid colored cardstock, I always like to add this one too for photos or whatever, your mats, your mats for your mats. That is going to be 8 altogether at 4 inches by 5 1/8, okay? Make sure that's right. It is. Okay. Thought I was losing my mind. So I'm just going to alternate that. And I always do one for each page. I do 1 pattern paper and then 1 solid. Hi, Phyllis. And here we go. And if you like putting tabs on the edges of these too, which I like to do so that they're easier to pull out. You might want to put your tabs on first and then your colored cardstock. But this time I'm gonna do it afterwards, I guess, because I forgot to make them. So I hope that makes it easier. And then they just slide in so easily, just like this. Okay. I did make these a little bit longer, so these are able to pull out, but they're not so long that they stick out of the album itself, okay? So we'll just continue on getting all our mats together here. So what do y'all think of the paper collection so far? And I've been meaning to ask you, so if you definitely want to get some ideas in for some paper lines you'd like to see, please comment down below. We'd love to hear from you and see what you all are interested in for the coming season, which will be our fall line and our Christmas line. So if you have any ideas, I know they want to hear. Once I get all these done, I can move them out of the way. And these make excellent layouts with this collection too. I made one for the CHA, and I really love how it turned out. It was a lot of fun to make. Oh, a Christmas pet line, that would be really cute. Like cats and dogs. Because I know last year's ours was kind of like woodsy, the Canada theme with the moose and the buffalo plaid and all of that. Really super cute. I just love that. Oops, I do this right. Hello. For some other reason, the glue's drying so fast on me, I can't get it to slide. Okay. Oh, chickens? Christmas paper with chickens? I don't know about that. That sounds crazy. Oh, do you mean like a normal pet line? Not holiday. Yeah, that would be cute. I think horses would be really cute too. What about the Clydesdales for Christmas? I don't know. That's just a thought. Hi, Monica. Yeah, I think the Clydesdales would be really fun. Chicken with Santa hats. That'd be really crazy, like Christmas on the farm, right? Yeah, they could totally do that. I like the horse idea, yeah. Hi, Anne-Marie. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and continue this off screen because you already know how the album itself looks, and I will have this all on our YouTube. So I hope you all have a wonderful and fabulous day.